Hello and welcome back to Sweet Nothings Crochet's videos. In today's videos we're going to see how to work the split single crochet stitch. So as you see, the stitch looks a lot like the knit stitch in knitting. So this is how it looks on the front, and it looks exactly the same on the other side as well. Thing is, it becomes really tough and well, it's a dense stitch. So if you want to make something that needs to be dense, something that needs to stay flat, then this is the stitch that you'd be going for. But it is done only in the single crochet. So how do we work this stitch? So this is just a swatch, and I'm starting with the row of foundation single crochet. So the foundation single crochet, there are links as to how I work that in the description below. Basically, you go through the bottom stitch, chain one, and then together. Okay, this is just an arbitrary number of stitches because it's just a swatch to show you how to do the split single crochet. So chain one. Now when you look at your stitch for the single crochet, normally this is where you'd go in, right? So if you look at the stitch, there's a lock on the top there, and it's got two legs. So look at this like the waist of the body and the two legs of the body. So what you're going to do is you're going to go between the legs. Now in your normal single crochet, what do? We go here into this space here, into that space there. But for this stitch, you're going to go into this space between the two legs. Okay, so for your first stitch, you turn sideways and then you go into the side there. It's a little fussy, so normally for the first stitch I like to do a regular single crochet. Okay, you've gone into the center of the stitch, and this is how I do my first single crochet. Go through the first loop and then through both. This just helps that the stitch goes to the same length as all the other stitches. Now for the next stitch, that's the top of the stitch, and this is the V of the stitch, and you go in the middle there, through the stitch, and you work your regular single crochet through the center of the stitch. The first row is a little difficult because it's a little fussy and you're not actually able to get into that first stitch. So what you could also do is just work a row of regular single crochet for the first row, and then work the single crochet split stitch all the way from row 2, which becomes way simpler. So I'm just going to show you how to do the split stitch from the next row in a neater way. Let's just go faster through here, shall we? This is how we do the regular single crochet. We're going through the center there. Cheating as usual, Sweet Nothings Crochet. Right. Chain one and turn. Now to get into this first stitch, you turn sideways and you go into this. You see the chain there? You go through there, but at an angle, and you come out there in the back. For the first stitch, chain through the first loop and then through both the loops. This is how I work it generally. Now it's a little simpler here. The top of the stitch, the bottom two legs. Go between the two legs, push through, come to the other side, and then you work your regular single crochet. Yarn over and through both. The top of the stitch, the two legs of the stitch, go under the top into the bottom of the V, pass through, yarn over, pull through, and then a regular single crochet through both. Let's look at that again. The top of the stitch, the two legs of the stitch, just go under the top of the stitch, through the stitch to the other side, and then complete your single crochet. So you see what happens? The top of that stitch gets hidden, and therefore it looks like it's a chain and another chain on the top, like you have in knitting. So that's the top of the stitch. Into there, push through, pull the yarn through and through the top there, into the V, into the V, eeps, and through. The beauty of this stitch is that you'll work the same for the front and for the back. Do you see how that V comes through? So when you turn around, you'll then go into this V here. That's the top of the stitch and the V there. The top of the stitch, the V there, pass through. Can you see the top of the stitch? Can you see the two legs V? And through there. And that's how it ends. And that, my dears, is the split single crochet stitch. We'll see how we can use this in pattern, but for now just let's learn that stitch. Right then, if you've enjoyed this video, you know what you got to do. Thumbs up for me, thumbs up to you too. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.